Hi, friends. I'm back with some more ideas from the book Superhuman Social Skills by Tynan. So let's get started. This book is based on a simple principle that people and relationships in our lives are important. They are important enough to think about social skills and consciously put effort into improving them. Through reading this book, you should be able to make strangers into acquaintances that like you. You will learn the art of conversation, how to share the best parts of you in an honest and authentic way. You will share how to make new friends and how to be the kind of friend that people want to have. And last, you will learn how to build a group of friends with whom you will share support, quality time, and love. Few people excel at any skill without thoughtful consideration and practice, and social skills are no exception. The author says that he went from being an introvert who was too shy to interact with friends to someone with amazing friends all over the world and a core group of close friends with whom he shared much of his life. Social skills are skills. If you were bad at, say, badminton, you would probably do something about it. You wouldn't feel bad about yourself, but you would take steps to improve. Maybe you would read books, watch some videos, ask friends for help, or take lessons. No matter which path you took, you would practice. You would analyze your progress and the results of your practice, and you would make course corrections. When you finally got good at badminton, you might share the story of how you improved, and you would expect that other people would generally look favorably on your course of actions. You identified an area of your life that needed improvement. You came up with steps to turn it into a strength. You executed on that plan and you succeeded. And although we use the phrase social skill, we treat social skills more like an mystic inborn force than an actual practicable skill. Maybe this comes from the idea that learning badminton isn't changing oneself, but learning social skills is. It's about time social skills were treated like skills, and any stigma associated with improving them was left behind. We change all the time, usually in imperceptible increments, so why not guide that change? If practicing social skills wasn't just manipulating and lying to people, many people think that consciously improving one's social skills is manipulative, deceptive, or disingenuous. However, author sees learning social skills as the exact opposite. To him, it's the practice of becoming the very best person you can be, maximizing what you have to offer others. It's about communicating who you are as clearly as possible and removing barriers preventing you from understanding others with the same clarity. Manipulation implies that we can get someone to do something against their will or better interests by cajoling them or presenting a false impression of ourselves. That's not at all the goal of building social skills. The goal is to understand better what other people really want, to identify where that intersects with what you want, and to have the social tools required to get both people what they are hoping for. It's also about understanding where there isn't an intersection and moving on. The author says that the goal of the book is that our time is being siphoned off from real life into cyberspace. So many of our conversations have become electronic that we have dulled some of our skills that are only useful in real life: timing, yielding, listening, perceiving, facial expressions, and body language. The remedy for this problem on an individual basis is to build up certain social skills to a baseline level. Author recommends some pointers to do this. Let's look at them. 1. Be comfortable with all strata of the society. You don't necessarily have to be comfortable with every person, but every type of person. This is a useful skill, and it's also a very important benchmark. Building social skills requires a person to travel outside his comfort zone as well as grappling with his hidden insecurity. On one end of the spectrum, it's possible to feel inferior to people you admire, as though you don't have any value to add to the relationship. Someone who is comfortable interacting and befriending people in all strata of society will feel comfortable in nearly every situation, confident in his ability to add to any interaction of which he is a part. Second, be a net addition. If someone is eating alone and you were to join them, that should make their lunch better. If a few friends are having tea together and you get invited, your presence should make everyone have a better time. And if you go to a large party or an event, even though your impact will be proportionately smaller due to the size that you interact with, they should be glad that you were at the party. Being a net addition is different than not just being a net negative. Being simply neutral is often a negative, as you are taking up an attendance slot that could have been used by someone else who could have been an addition. It's important to proactively add to social situations. Most social circles are actually series of concentric circles. There's a small inner nucleus of people who organize and get invited to everything, and without whom the events wouldn't happen. Then there's the next ring of people who are always welcome but would never displace a member of the nucleus. Outside these two circles are people who usually get invited but only if space permits. Or maybe they have certain personality quirks that make them incompatible with others in the circle. Meaning, the core group must choose who gets invited and who doesn't. The nucleus is comprised of people who are net additions and orchestrate events. By ensuring that you are always a net addition, even if not a huge one, you will dramatically increase the number of events to which you are invited. Besides being fun and valuable, these invitations will provide you with events at which you can practice your social skills, thereby creating a virtuous cycle. Third, build a quality friends group. With the possible exception of your daily habits, nothing will influence your life as much as your core friends group. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are constantly molded and influenced by those closest to you. You will receive advice from them, absorb their mannerisms and habits, and even subconsciously adopt some of their opinions. With so much on the line, choosing the closest to you should be a very deliberate decision. The goal is to build a social circle that will both challenge you and support you depending on what you need at that time. Fourth, establish emotional independence from acquaintances and strangers. A friendship is like a bank account. The more you put in, the more you can take out. The author says that he does his best to require little from others, but has a group of close friends who would happily give him whatever support he needed if a situation were to arise. Fifth, be able to handle yourself socially in any situation. Similar to being able to relate to people across all social strata, it's also important to be able to handle yourself in any social situation that may arise. A good litmus test to ask is whether someone would feel comfortable introducing you to any of his friends or inviting you to any event. For example, can you fend yourself if you are dropped into a party? Can you strike up conversations with strangers and be a net positive without your friend introducing you and having to make sure that you are taken care of? What if you're stuck talking with someone you don't really like? Can you relied upon to be civil, not alienate them, and maybe even be a net positive to them? What if everyone in the party decides to go to a restaurant and it's not the kind of food you want to eat? Will you go along and make the best of it? This is so crucial because it directly affects the quality and the quantity of introductions you receive, which likely will be a primary input into your social life. If the introducer can put you in any situation and expect that you will be an asset, even if you don't make a connection with the person he's introducing you to, you will get a lot more introductions. Sixth, make people like you more the longer they know you. First impressions are important, but your enduring impact will determine how deep your friendships become. To have excellent friendships and to maximize the opportunities for casual friends to turn into good friends, you must be the kind of person who becomes better with time. We all know people who are the opposite. They are fun to have in big groups because you can talk with them for a few minutes, but 2 hours with them would drive you crazy. It's tragic to see people like this sometimes because you know they are good. People with good intentions and a lot to offer, but their social skills can alienate others. So build your social strengths, cut out your weaknesses, and you will reach there. If you are a good person with some unique life experiences, you are likable in the long term. If you find that people don't eagerly go the distance to become friends with you, it's probably because you are making some easily correctable social mistakes that can push them away.